Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving into something a little different today, something a lot of you have specifically asked for.
Yeah.
It's sneaky, it's everywhere, and chances are it's impacting your life in a big way.
Hmm.
We're talking stress,
Yeah.
and we're going beyond the surface here,
Right.
going deep to uncover why it matters,
Mm.
how it impacts us, and most importantly, how to manage it and, find a little more calm and happiness in our lives.
Yeah, it's interesting. It seems like everyone's talking about stress these days as if it's just a normal part of life,
No.
which it is to a degree.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we're starting to understand that it's not just a feeling, right?
Right.
It's a full-blown physiological response
Yeah.
with some serious consequences, and that's especially true when it comes to mental health.
Okay, so before we get to conquering stress,
Right.
let's just define it. What is stress? What's actually happening in our bodies when we feel stressed?
Well, think of stress as your body's natural alarm system, right?
Okay.
It's that fight or flight response we've all heard about kicking in.
Yeah.
Any kind of challenge or threat, real or perceived it, triggers this release of hormones. You've got adrenaline, cortisol, things that basically put your body on high alert.
Right, so it's getting us ready to...
Yeah, to either fight off the danger or run away,
Yeah,
which, back in the caveman days probably came in handy.
right, exactly, yeah.
But in today's world, where our stressors are a little bit different,
Right.
it's not so much saber-toothed tigers anymore. It's more like work deadlines and traffic jams.
Yeah, those emails piling up.
Exactly. And so that's where things can get a little tricky.
So it sounds like you're saying there are different types of stress then.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, think about it. You've got like the good stress, right? Like
Right.
the excitement before a big presentation or the anticipation of a first date. It can actually improve our performance, make us more alert and focused.
Right, I can definitely relate to that.
But then there's the bad stress, what we call distress. That's the kind that sticks around, that chronic stress. It's like constantly running a marathon at sprint speed. Eventually, your body just can't keep up.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
You keep mentioning mental health, and that's honestly what I'm most curious about.
yeah.
I know there's a connection between stress and our mental well-being, but to what extent? Like, how serious is this really?
Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The connection is real and it's significant.
Yeah.
In the short term, stress can leave you feeling irritable and anxious. It can even affect your focus and concentration.
Yeah.
But it's the long-term effects of chronic stress. That's where things get really worrisome.
Yeah.
Studies have shown a very strong correlation between chronic stress and the development of some serious mental health conditions,
Like what?
like anxiety disorders, depression, and burnout, which we hear a lot about these days.
Yeah, it feels like burnout is everywhere these days. Is it as serious as everyone makes it sound?
It's not just a buzzword. Burnout is very real. It's basically a state of complete emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion,
Wow.
caused by prolonged exposure to really overwhelming stressors.
Yeah, I've definitely felt that way before.
Yeah, and the tricky thing is that it can often sneak up on you.
Right. Okay. Well, that all sounds pretty grim, but
Yeah.
I'm ready to move on to solutions because I think that's what everyone's here for. Like, what can we actually do to start feeling better?
Okay, I like that attitude. Because we actually do have a lot of control here, more than we think sometimes.
Okay.
And there are some really effective strategies we can use to manage stress and build resilience.
So give us the rundown. What are the key things we should be focusing on?
All right, so I'm going to break it down into 5 main areas, okay?
Yeah.
First up, and these are the foundations, you've got healthy lifestyle choices.
Okay.
So that's all about nourishing your body and mind from the inside out.
Yeah.
Then we have mindfulness and relaxation techniques.
Okay.
These are really powerful tools for calming your nervous system and sort of shifting your perspective.
Makes sense.
Then there's time management, which is crucial.
Okay.
Then social support. We are social creatures and we need connection to thrive.
That's so true.
And finally, because sometimes we need extra support, there's professional help, and that's nothing to be ashamed of.
Okay. I love that you included that.
Yeah.
So let's start with healthy lifestyle choices, because I know you're going to say eat well, sleep enough, exercise, but how do those basic things actually help combat stress?
Yeah, you're right. It sounds simple, but these things really are the foundation.
Yeah.
They help rebalance your system. They regulate those stress hormones we were talking about.
Okay.
Let's take exercise, for example. There was this fascinating study done at Harvard,
Okay.
and they found that just 20 minutes of moderate intensity exercise, like just going for a brisk walk, can actually reduce cortisol levels by
Wow.
18%.
Okay, so that's the stress hormone. Right?
Yeah, cortisol is that pesky stress hormone.
Yeah.
So lowering it like that can have a huge impact on your mood, your energy levels, your ability to cope with those everyday stressors.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. That's a stat I can remember.
Right.
20 minutes. Okay, what about sleep? I know I'm a mess when I don't get enough.
Oh, yeah, sleep is crucial.
But how does it actually relate to stress?
Think of sleep as like hitting the reset button for your brain. Okay.
Okay.
It's when your brain processes all those emotions from the day. It consolidates memories and literally clears out toxins.
Wow.
When we don't get enough sleep, all those processes get disrupted,
Yeah.
and that leaves us way more vulnerable to stress, less equipped to handle it. So aim for 7 to 8 hours a night. It's honestly non-negotiable for effective stress management.
I hear that. Sometimes, though, it's like adding in another thing to the to-do list,
Right.
like exercise on top of everything else.
Yeah.
That feels like it stresses me out more.
Yeah, and that's where time management comes in. It's not just about productivity. It's truly about stress reduction.
Okay.
Start by identifying your biggest time wasters.
I'm sure we can all think of a few.
Yeah, social media scrolling anyone.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Once you've identified those, then you can start to prioritize what truly matters, right?
Okay.
Learn to say no to those things that are draining your energy and creating that unnecessary pressure. You deserve to protect your time and energy.
That is such a good point.
Right. It's about being intentional with your time so
Right.
you can create more space for the things that really matter.
So we've talked about lifestyle and time management, but I feel like so much of stress is also mental.
Oh, absolutely.
Are there ways to calm your mind more directly?
Yes, that's where mindfulness and relaxation techniques come in.
Yeah.
They really help to shift your perspective, calm your nervous system. And one of the most powerful tools in this category is meditation.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that.
It's been scientifically proven to physically change the brain, like for real.
Wow, okay.
It actually strengthens the areas associated with emotional regulation,
Oh, wow.
and it reduces activity in the amygdala, which is like the brain's fear center.
Okay, I've tried meditation apps, but I always end up just like thinking about my to-do list. Are there other things that we can do that are maybe a little easier to get into?
Yeah, totally. I mean, even simple breathing exercises can make a huge difference.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of box breathing?
I don't think so.
It's super simple. You inhale for a count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, repeat. It's like a mini meditation that you can literally do anywhere, anytime.
Oh, I like that.
Right. And it's a great way to just kind of reset and refocus when you're feeling overwhelmed.
I know when I'm feeling stressed, one of the things that helps me the most is just venting to my friends, getting it all out.
Oh, yeah.
Does that fall under the social support umbrella that you mentioned?
Absolutely. Social connection is actually a powerful buffer against stress.
Yeah.
Talking things out helps us process those difficult emotions. It helps us gain perspective, and it makes us feel supported. Just knowing that someone is there to listen can make a world of difference.
I can definitely attest to that.
Yeah.
Just having that outlet is so huge.
And even just spending time with loved ones.
Yeah.
Laughing, sharing meals, having fun, those things release endorphins, which are natural mood boosters.
Okay, so connection is key.
It really is.
What about when it feels like more than we can handle on our own?
Well, that's a really good question. And it's important to remember that seeking professional help is always an option. And there's absolutely no shame in doing so.
Right.
Therapists and counselors are trained to provide coping strategies that are tailored to your specific needs, and they can help you develop that personalized stress management plan.
Yeah.
Think of it as an investment in your mental well-being.
I love that. So if we want to start building our own stress management plan, where do we begin?
Well, my advice would be start small,
Okay.
build from there, incorporate maybe just 1 or 2 simple practices into your daily routine. It could be something like a 10-minute walk in nature, 5 minutes of deep breathing before bed, journaling for a few minutes each morning,
Yeah.
or even just consciously savoring that first cup of coffee in the morning. Right. It's not about making drastic changes all at once.
Right.
It's about those small, consistent steps that add up over time.
It feels a lot more manageable when you put it that way.
Right. It's progress, not perfection. And remember, what works for one person might not work for another.
Yeah, for sure.
This is about finding what resonates with you.
Exactly.
Maybe you thrive on those high-intensity workouts, or maybe gentle yoga is more your speed.
Yeah.
The key is to experiment, find what brings you that sense of calm and control.
Okay, so to wrap things up, stress is a serious issue.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
But we don't have to let it rule our lives.
Right.
We do have the power to manage it
Absolutely.
and prioritize our well-being. We have the tools.
We do.
You've given us the tools.
Here's a final thought to leave you with.
Okay.
What's one small change you can make today to reduce your stress levels?
Ooh.
It could be something as simple as setting boundaries around work emails after hours, scheduling in 30 minutes of me time, or reaching out to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while.
Right, or trying that box breathing
Yes.
that you talked about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember, even the smallest steps can lead to big changes over time.
That's very inspiring.
Yeah.
So we hope this deep dive has equipped you with the knowledge and the tools you need to really tackle stress head on and create a life filled with more peace and happiness.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next time.